So today I want to give you another hack for your intuition. Now, this one is particularly useful when you're wanting to use your intuition to solve a problem or help you with your creativity. Because generally when we get a problem, it's because there's two things that we want to be able to do and yet we don't have time to do both of them, or so it may seem. So what we need to do is, instead of asking, well, do I want to do A or do I want to do B, asking instead, how can I do A and B? So that's what I call a confluence question. In other words, doing A and doing B, they're two different patterns. By asking ourselves, how do we do both of those? Well, it enables us to then find the pattern that actually does contain both of those. And this can be really incredibly simple in the sense that as soon as we ask that question, often the answers appear obvious. So for example, if you ask yourself, well, do I want Chinese or do I want pizza? Well, those two questions, because you're going out to dinner with a friend or something, and you want to, if one person wants one thing and one person wants the other, well, then it's tricky. But then if you ask, well, how can we have both pizza and Chinese? Well, then you get all sorts of answers. So it can be from getting takeout and, eating at home, which obviously, at the moment that's pretty obvious an answer. But you can do that. You can go to a restaurant that has both. You could actually have one of those meals in which you go somewhere for an entree and then you go to a different place for main. Anyway, the point is that by focusing on both, what appears to be a contradiction, like how do I have a career and a relationship? Well, then that you start to work it out. It's like, how can I work from home and have an international international career? It's like you start to actually be able to see how you can do both of those things. The trick is that often we just assume that life is such that we can only do one or the other. Well, if we see them as separate, well then time, energy limitations can mean that we can only work with one pattern or the other pattern. But when we ask ourselves, how can we do both? When we ask the confluence questions, then we start to find the answer. Because remember, our intuition works from focus and intention. So when you focus on asking yourself the how question, like how can I do both of these things, that's when you'll then start to find those answers. So there you are. There's a hack for your intuition. Just ask yourself, how can I do both of those things? And see what happens. So just do that and it help you create more of what you want in your life. And until next time, remember that you're brilliant.